Alright, today I'm going to show you how to repair the roller brush head on a Dyson vacuum. This is a Dyson dc35. I've had this for almost 9 years, repaired it multiple times to keep it running strong. I assume this same process will apply to many other Dyson vacuums as well. So the problem is the roller head. What happens, you start it, and you've probably experienced the same thing if you found this video. So we start it and it just stops after a couple seconds. See, we only get a few seconds, 4 or 5 seconds. And then I found that, I'll clean out the hair on the brush head and it'll still experience the same problem. So what we're gonna do is actually take it apart today, and I'll show you how to actually clean the inside of the gear, so make sure it's gonna be motors running as smooth as possible. Okay, so first thing we need to do is remove the roller from there. I usually just use a quarter. You use any blunt object. Pop that out of there. And so I'll show you what I'm talking about. So normally you just clean this brush bar and then it'll be running fine again. But if you're experiencing this problem where after you've got all the hair out of here and cleaned the brush bar well, and it keeps cutting off like that after a few seconds intermittently, what you need to do is I'll show you how we can get in there and take it apart even further. So first step is you want to just make sure you have the brush bar clean. So I just cut the hair out of there, just dispose of this. Okay, so next step, I'll show you, as right now I'm experiencing the problem that even if I clean the brush bar, the roller head, the motor keeps shutting off. So I think there's some obstruction in there, which we're going to get to in a second. Okay, so we've done the first step of just cutting out all the hair in there. So let's see what it does first step. Same thing. It cut off again after about 5 seconds. So let's go a little deeper and clean further and show you how to get the inside of this brush bar totally clean. Alright, so first step, we want to take it out again. I just use a quarter. Alright, now there's only a few different bits that you're gonna need here. T8, T10, and a small Phillips. So we're just gonna take these pieces off here. Two at the front are the Phillips ones. You'll notice there's a lot of debris that gets stuck all inside of all these parts, so it's a good time to clean it out. Okay. Next step. And we're gonna take, I believe this should be the T10. And take the remaining ones out. we've got these 4 T10 torque screws out. You can lift this off. Now you can see the motor for this brush bar. So what we can do is actually clean up the connections, make sure there's nothing dirty on the connections, messing that up as well while we're in here. And then now this is where I found will really give you the most improvements. So just inside here where the brush bar actually connects into, all kinds of hair and gunk will get wrapped around and trapped behind there. So you can use your T8 bit so that's the only one I believe. Yeah, that's the only one that takes the T8. All the other ones are T10. And then we're just gonna have to pry this off with something. Probably just use a flathead screwdriver. And once you pry this part out, so I just pushed up against it with the screwdriver to get it loose, but could probably grab it with pliers. That might actually be easier. So look in there, behind this bit, there's all kinds of hair just wrapped around, and you'll never be able to get that out if you don't remove this part. And so I've just got a little pick here, but anything will work really. And I'm just gonna pick that out, and look at that hair that's all trapped behind there. Now that we got that out, I think it's gonna be running smoothly again, just like new. So you see that was quite a bit of gunk in there. Got this big thing trapped and this ring. And then all you have to do is just place this back in there. Just press it in, put the screw back, and I can already tell it's spinning much more freely than it was. And as a final step, like I said before, we can just go ahead and clean up the connections in here on the motor for this. Okay, so we can just go ahead and remove these connections off of the motor. I'm just gonna go ahead and use an alcohol swab and just clean everything up, remove any debris, make sure it's got a good connection. Do it on the motor side and the wire. This one's really on there. If the connection is really stuck on there, just use some needle nose pliers. take another fresh alcohol swab. It's actually quite dirty. Go ahead and wipe down the motor side again. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up in here. Doesn't hurt if you still have some moisture on the alcohol swab. Just clean up, wipe down other surfaces. Okay, make sure everything is totally dry. Take note of which wires went where. Put those back on. Slide the caps over. Now we're gonna just go ahead and put it back together, just like we took it apart. So quite a bunch of debris we got out of there. And you can see everything is much cleaner. This is turned smoothly, so the motor will have less resistance that it has to fight against. So let's put it back together and see if we fixed it. So we're going to start with the 4 Torx T10 here. We already put the 8 back on when we cleaned out behind the motor gear for the brush bar. Everything should just snap into place, just like how you took it off. This one is the Phillips head, got 2 at the front. Stick the brush bar back in. Tighten it. And then go ahead and just remove some of this debris. Get stuck here on the back. bottom, I should say. And that's it. So let's put it back on the vacuum and see if it's working correctly again. Okay, so we've got everything put back together, all cleaned up. Let's give it a final test. As you can see, it's now spinning effortlessly, not shutting off, and we have fixed the problem. So I could expect to keep using this vacuum for years to come. I hope that if you landed on this video, that this helped solve your problem. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.